Welcome to the Joe McNeil Podcast. Today, special guest, my son, Jehu McNeil.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Long drive. We've made some upgrades to the set. I had some AI create some artwork for me, and it didn't quite turn out. It's just like I'm blasting my name all over everywhere. I did put the word podcast, but it's so small you probably can't see it. But we're really trying to get this thing syndicated so we can travel the world.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
So today's episode, we've alluded to it in past episodes, but Jehu just got over a battle of cancer, actually almost a year ago, beat it. And we're almost tired of talking about it. And we're trying not to let it be the identity of the family. And Jehu doesn't want it to be his identity, which is all understandable. But it's a pretty unique thing that we went through and that Jay went through. And so today we're going to talk about the just kind of the timeline, what he went through, kind of what was going through the mind emotionally, turning points, and what he did, to kind of make it through that, and what he's up to today and all of that. So I think it will be helpful for anyone that is maybe dealing with a cancer diagnosis.
Yep.
Has had somebody going through that. There's a lot of unknowns, and I just think it's a good story. It's not going to be all tears and crying. We've cried so much that I'm not sure how much more we can cry, but it is a story of triumph and resilience and discipline. And I don't know how disciplined, but just maybe discipline in the mind.
Yeah.
So let's just go ahead and jump into that. I figure we can do another episode of childhood and all of that. The sisters already shared about you getting beat on the golf course.
Oh, no.
Or not spanked on the golf course, but that was already on Abby's episode. That's coming out today. We're back. Okay, so real quick, every episode we have technical difficulties. I think the lighting was not real great in the last one. Then I found out we weren't really recording in HD, and I was making like gang signs with my hands down at the bottom. You just notice all these weird things about yourself, and it's great. So Jehu, let's talk about, let's just kind of go through the timeline. We've not really done this, but so let's talk about, let's say March. I think it was February. I think it was March of 24. You're playing junior golf. And maybe even before that, if you want to talk about that, but just kind of started dealing with back issues.
Yeah.
And you actually withdrew from a tournament, which never happened.
No.
So just, I don't know, kind of talk about that.
Yeah, it was just kind of weird because, like, I'm healthy, but, like, I don't know, my back was, like, in so much pain.
Yeah.
It was, like, it would be good for a while, but then, like, you start doing stuff and it's just, like, picked right back up. And then I think the tournament that I withdrew from was at the Hyatt.
Yeah.
And that first round, like, that was brutal. We were just like trying to get through it. Didn't honestly play too bad for like being in that much pain, but like, yeah, I got done, and I think I called you.
Yeah.
And I was like,
no, I didn't see it. I was teaching and I had a text and I didn't see it till you were done.
Yeah.
But I think it was before you teed off.
No, it was mid-round.
And you had texted and said, "Can I withdraw?" And I didn't see it. And I was like, oh man, his back, which was making me feel better because I'm 40 and you deal with back issues. But I was like, well, my, how old were you? You were 17?
17.
17 then. I was like, well, he's 17. He's dealing with back issues too.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it. And then you did end up withdrawing. You got through the first round, but then I was like, dude, if you're in that much pain.
Yeah.
But yeah, describe kind of what the pain was and stuff.
It was like a shocking pain, like a jolt. Like anytime you took a step, it was just like a jolt in your back.
Yeah.
Which, like, to me, I just thought I like threw it out, like doing something. I don't know.
Yeah. And so we were like, I thought it was a golf injury because swing the club really fast. So I'm like, wow, you haven't swung enough left-handed swings to offset the amount of right-handed swings. But how much time did you take off then?
It was a couple months.
Yeah.
Because I think I had a tournament. It was probably the Dallas qualifier.
That was
PAJ.
like June or July, I think.
Yeah.
That you didn't play.
I think I had
hardly
played
till-
one tournament before that.
Yeah.
And I played good there.
Yep. But it was still kind of bothering you then.
Yeah, it wasn't like at 100% yet, but like it was good enough where I could go and play and still play good.
Yeah. And in the qualifier, you had 2 eagles.
Yeah.
You eagled the first hole and then eagled the 10th.
Yeah.
Hold out. Yeah, we were like, oh man, he's back. This is great. That was a really good tournament. And so that was July. And then I would say probably almost immediately after that.
Yeah, so we had one more tournament, the one where me, Mom, and Des went up to, I think it was Arkansas, right?
I don't remember.
It was a qualifier as well.
Oh, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, yeah.
Yes.
And that was my last junior tournament.
Okay. And you played terrible.
Oh, it was awful.
Were you in pain then?
No, I think it was like kind of just thinking about it being my last junior tournament if I didn't get through the qualifier.
Yeah.
And so I think that's just
well, you can still blame it on the...
Yeah, but like I just started playing bad, and so it's just like everything goes through your head of like, wow, this is your last one, and then just everything fell apart.
Yeah. So then you start having, we don't have to go into like, a ton of detail, but it was just kind of like stomach problems.
Yeah, like so bad where like I couldn't do anything, couldn't like move. I was laying on the floor all day.
Yeah, and so I remember, I think I came home. I didn't fully know because you don't really talk about it. You just kind of like endure, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, my stomach's been hurting for like 4 days, and you couldn't eat. I remember that. Mm-hmm. Like you would eat like a bite and then throw up. And I was like, I'm taking you to the emergency room.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on. And we went out. You had like severe cramping.
Yeah, we thought.
And you were like throwing up in the yard. You're going to be like Nate Bargatze, mispronouncing all these words. Appendicitis. And I'm like, we go down to Hondo to the emergency room, which is like, I don't want to knock that place, but it's a little sketchy.
Yeah, it wasn't a good experience.
It's like going to an animal hospital. It's like, take him out back.
Out by the horses in the back.
And so we go in there and we don't really know what's going on. And I'm still like, I mean, I'm pretty hard on you because like as a kid, you of all of them, you would tend to quit. Like you're not in tournaments, but just like it's hard out, and it's like, damn, I'm gonna kick you in the pants. And we went down there and they put a tube. They were like, yeah, he's got a blockage in his intestines and we need to pump his stomach. And I'm like, oh my god.
So they did that for 3 days.
So they do. They put a tube down his nose, and which was awful.
Yeah, that sucked.
And pump your stomach. I still feel bad about this, but I waited till you got checked in your room, and then I went home. We left you in the hospital all night. I mean, I was like, you'll be fine in the morning. He's going to sleep. I didn't want to sleep on it was a chair like this.
Yeah.
So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So like we went in, we were there for 3 days and like no food, no, like nothing, no water or anything. 'Cause they had an IV on me.
Yeah.
And I think I lost like 20 some pounds in 3 days. So that like takes a very big toll on your body. And then it was kind of like after the 2 days, they just like, okay, go home.
What was disgusting was like what was pumping out of the stomach too.
Yeah,
was like
just black goo.
And I remember then, and I told Mom, I was like, that looks like when people have cancer. Like I've seen them, and I asked them there at the hospital, like, is anything? No, they didn't do any blood work.
Well, they took my blood,
but they didn't report anything.
I know.
So you came home.
Yep.
You were kind of like, yeah, better. But ever since then, that was in September, I think. Mom's going to have the dates.
October 8th.
Okay.
It was after Legend Jordan's wedding.
So you didn't look good.
No, I mean, I was yellow super skinny. And it was like 2 days after was when the hip pain started.
Yeah. And so Mom gathered a bunch of pictures and stuff. So throughout this podcast, we're going to so we will show some pictures over timeline of what we were talking about. But yeah, you didn't look good at all. And we get into, I think me and Des go to Houston, play the Greenwood Cup, come back, and Mom's like, he's not doing good.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, let's go. It's got to be his hip. Let's go to the chiropractor.
Yeah. I mean, I was going like 4 times a week.
And he goes, I'm not going to treat you anymore.
Yeah. Which, because like after I would go, it would feel good for like that day. And then it was awful.
Yeah. Talk through all of that, like just kind of the timeline there. What he sent you somewhere, then you went somewhere.
Yeah. So we went for like, it was probably a week and a half of going to the chiropractor like 4 times a week. And then he was like, okay, like this isn't working. Like I'm going to send you over to the hospital in Castroville, or the ER.
Yeah.
He was like, I know a guy over there. I'll let him know and everything. And we go over there the next day or something. So this is probably like almost 2 weeks after we got back from the Hondo hospital.
Yeah.
And then I don't fully remember what they did. They took tests, did x-ray on my hip and everything.
Told you were dehydrated.
Yeah. They didn't
and
really see anything.
And prescribed like 100 milligrams of melatonin because you weren't sleeping.
Yeah.
And so we're like, all right, praise God, and then did we go back there?
No, so we don't go back there. I think that was like a Friday.
Yeah. And you were I remember I got up one morning and you weren't even sleeping in your room anymore. You went out on our sofa bed and you were standing over it. And I'm like, what is the matter? You're like, I hurt so bad I didn't sleep. And I'm like, okay, we're taking you somewhere else. And I told Mom, I go to his pediatrician or like over in San Antonio. And so she did that. And then I get a call. They want to look at his lungs.
Yeah.
And we're like, what? Because you were kind of having a hard time breathing, right?
Yeah, I couldn't take deep breaths.
Yeah, we were like, what is going on? And I kept thinking Hondo left something in his body, right? There was like something fell off, or they did something. But talk about that.
Yeah, so that was, I believe that was like Monday the 7th.
I don't care about the dates. Mom's going to recorrect everything and be like, you guys are wrong. But it's in November.
Yeah, this is, I think it was November 17th.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So we go to that ER. The lady was great. She took tests and then she was like, I'm going to do an x-ray on your lungs and whatever. And then they see like a big lump just like in the middle of my chest.
Yeah.
And so she was like, I called the hospital.
Well, that was a pediatrician. Then she sent you to the ER. That wasn't the ER that you went to.
Yeah. That was...
that was Little Spurs, or the pediatrician.
And so she called it was University. So we go over there, waited in line for hours.
Yeah.
And then they thought I had like tuberculosis, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was kind of good though, because we ended up getting our own room.
Private room. I remember going over there. Everybody's barfing. It's flu season. It was disgusting. Standing next.
Remember the old lady? Throwing stuff at people.
An old lady. She's in a wheelchair, chucking stuff at people and screaming, like cussing, screaming. And they're like, she comes in all the time. Like literally every day. She's like, I'm dying.
Yeah. And then I just remember waiting in the room, just like laying on the hard ground because like my hip.
Yes.
Like,
you didn't even want to be up on the bed.
It was like, it felt like I thought my hip was broken.
Yeah. Then you had the Asian guy, Asian doctor come in. We don't have to tell a ton of it. But
we don't even know if he was a doctor.
We never saw him again, but he just comes in and he's like, I don't need it. This sounds so racist. We're not racist. But he's like, can I feel in your pants? And we're like, what? And so he goes around and he's like, okay, well, I think this is cancer, but I will be here for you. And we're like, why'd you stick your hands in his pants?
And we never saw him again after that.
We never saw him again. And I'm like, I'm waiting for a
Have you guys seen an Asian guy? Like,
beware of a guy, pretending to be a doctor, walking around sticking his hands in people's pants. And that never did anything.
No.
I even said to him, like, where did that guy go? And they're like, huh?
Yeah, we never saw him ever.
So beware.
Yeah. And we were in that room till like 1 a.m., right?
That one.
So we were in the ER. They moved us up to the hospital, but we didn't.
We were in the ER like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, it was just like the inpatient ER, right?
Yeah. So they had us in a private room because you had TB, is what they thought. Then they moved us over to another room that was a little bit more permanent. We stayed there, I think, a night and a half. That was the one when like 2 a.m. they moved us upstairs.
And at that point, that's where they started giving me medicine, and like my hip pain's gone. And so that was nice.
Gave you morphine?
Yeah, I got sleep finally.
We knew something was up when they gave you morphine. I was like, I'm not a doctor, obviously, but we don't, you don't do that. I remember they examined your lungs. I think that was when they told you, because they went ahead and drained one of them there, right? I think so, because they were like, hey, your lungs are full of fluid. Actually, it wasn't in the lungs.
It was all around.
It was all around. Them. And one was completely collapsed, and the other was like a quarter of the way collapsed. And I remember they hooked you up into a bunch of stuff, and, all these monitors, beep, 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 all night long. They were monitoring your oxygen levels. That alarm went off all night long. Your blood pressure, I don't remember fully what it was, but it was over 180. I remember that.
Yeah. I think it was at like 190.
It was insane.
Yeah.
And then your oxygen levels were, I can't remember what the numbers need to be, but I remember they were awful.
Yeah.
They were terrible. And I didn't have a bed. I laid down on the hard linoleum floor and just listened to that like all night. And I'd be praying. And what's kind of funny is, like, if I go back a little bit, I had a brother when I was an older brother, David, who your middle name, we named you after him. And I loved my brother. We played sports, all kinds of stuff. And I'm not gonna tell a lot of details, but he died when I was 12 years old during a football game. We watched him die. We were right there by his side. It was awful. That was on Thanksgiving Day of 1994. And I was always afraid like something like that would happen to one of my kids, and especially the one named after, right? Your name's Jehu, David.
Yeah.
And here we go into Thanksgiving season, and the amount of fear I was dealing with, I couldn't get it out of my mind of, this is like, he's not going to make it. This is like, I mean, they told us, like, they started rumoring this might be cancer. And we're like, no, it's got to be something else. What is it? We're praying like, God, please show us what this infection is. It's got to be something like we don't know. And I remember just curling up on that. Me and Mom can't really talk. We're texting a little bit, but all night long, I mean, you would stop breathing. And the oxygen would drop, and then it would go up, and I was just praying. And the only prayer, like, you don't even know what to pray, because it's like you can't pray anything specific. We don't know what it is. I literally, my prayer, and I've never prayed like this in my life. God help. God, please help. Have mercy on him. Please don't let him die. Please. We go up to the hospital at like 2 a.m. And it is that ward that we first go in, it is depressing.
Yeah.
It was the adult ward. And they tell us then, I think we had some blood results, your calcium levels were through the roof. So They said, that's typically cancer. And we're like, okay. They said, just to put this in perspective, if me, had calcium levels that your son did, you would be dead. You would have dropped dead, cardiac arrest. It's crazy. So, all right, enough about me, so why don't you kind of talk through that timeline, what you remember. I remember they put a needle like this long through your back into your lungs. I don't know if you ever saw it. And they took out like, I mean, it looked like a
So that wasn't in that room though.
Yes, it did.
Really?
First time it was. They had to do it because you were. Yeah. First time they did it was there. That was before we moved upstairs.
Yeah. I just remember those needles hurting. Like
they took that in, they drained it, and it looked like it looked like apple juice.
Yeah.
And I was Googling, we're like clear fluid meant something, cloudy was cancer or something. And so we're up there in the adult ward.
Yeah.
Cancer ward, I think. I think they went ahead and told us that's what they had went ahead and done that. And go ahead.
I think me, like, I know they had said like this might be cancer, but like I don't think even when they said that I was like, nah, there's no way. Like I'm 18 years old. Like it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then I think it was at like 5 a.m. when the doctor came in, right?
I don't remember.
It was something like that. And I remember her telling us it was cancer. And like
they were like 100% it is. Yep.
And then like I've never been that scared in my life. Like
yeah.
It was like, because like you're 18, like you think like you're invincible, and then like just all of a sudden like boom, like wow. Like my first thought was, wow, I'm gonna die.
Yeah. And that's what it felt like. Like over the whole thing, there's just this like oppression. You've not went through this anymore. I mean, people that have cancer are 75, 80 years old.
Yeah.
What is going on? And what are we doing?
Yeah, like, and none of them seemed optimistic about it at all.
They didn't even know what it was. They're like, we still don't know what type. And then we had that one doctor. I always called him Awesome. I don't know how to say his last name, but it sounded like Awesome.
Yeah,
and he was awesome.
He was great.
Yeah, he was awesome. So they announced that we're talking. And I start calling all the family. It's awful. Because we just don't know.
Yeah.
And Destiny has a tournament scheduled. She doesn't know she's out playing a practice round. So everybody knew. I had to go pick her up and tell her. This is horrible. Abby's away at college. I had to tell her. And then we've got this business that we're trying to keep afloat. Yeah. It's pretty bad. But kind of talk through what you remember. We end up moving through. I want to walk through like even what we did at the going into the pediatrics ward and stuff like that. But kind of talk just, what was in your mind after that, and even the days and stuff as it kind of went on.
I think for a while it was just like, well, I'm gonna die. I think I just like laid there expecting to die. And then I just remember like, I think it was like a day or two after, Aiden, Eli, Zach, and Payson, they all came by.
Yeah.
And that was like, that was really hard.
Yeah. Yep. I remember all of them out in the lobby, and because they came to the first room. Well, they came and saw you in Hondo and stuff, and I saw them out there, and they were like, and I'm like, it's not good, guys. And it was really cool that they were there. And like early on, you're like, they don't really want you to have visitors.
Yeah.
But that's what you need. Like, you're like, you need people. And especially even the people that had to stay, like myself or mom or anybody else that had to stay in the room. Like, you need people. You need an army of people. There's no way you can keep yourself up, because I'm talking to you. I don't want you to see me cry. And then I would go in the bathroom and shut the door and just like, Lord, help us. That we were praying that. It's just such a generic prayer, because you're like, no, you're supposed to be like, well, Lord, I need you to do this, or we're supposed to be strong. We're Christians.
Yeah.
And we've already been through hard things. So we're not supposed to be going through this. And then you get a lot of great stuff, and then you get a lot of just horrible, to be honest with you. I don't even remember who, but I got so many texts telling us what to do with you.
I know.
And I'm sure people are well-meaning, but it's like, it's not the time.
No.
Okay. Like, oh, don't listen to the doctors, or, things like this. And you're like, I don't need this in my life right now, right? I don't need this. So,
yeah. And once we got over to like the pediatric side, because they finally moved me over to the kids side.
Yeah.
It was already just like much better. Like the nurses and doctors were amazing over there. And then
only allowed 6 visitors. 4. And we blew that out of the water. We had probably 25 people in there the first day, and we got in big trouble
with the head lady. But when she wasn't there, the nurses were like, "No, I don't care. You can have as many as you want."
I mean, it's crazy. I think, and you were there. I stayed for a long time until Abby got there. I think
you stayed for like 3 weeks or something.
Yeah, and then Abby got there. And then once Abby got there, we pretty much had Abby staying there all the time.
Yeah. So the first stay was 3 weeks long, right?
Mom will know.
It's probably a little longer.
I know that you got to come home right before Christmas.
Yeah.
But okay, so you're in the kids' ward. You look terrible.
Feels terrible.
And we don't know what we're doing. And at that time, I have everybody come over and get pictures with you, and we'll show those. We thought you were dying, and I told them all, you need to come over and see your brother, and give him a hug, and because we just don't know. And we had some scary things throughout. Like, it's not like everybody thinks like, oh, hey, how's the chemo working? It's working good. Okay, good.
Well, chemo just kills your body. Like,
yeah, but they don't tell you the amount of times that you had to get you had to go under anesthesia.
Yeah.
Where they would do those spine punctures. So we end up finding out what it is. It's a large B cell lymphoma.
Yep.
Which is a blood cancer. They were concerned that it was leukemia because of the hip. And somehow it technically was,
there was like point something.
It was like 0.0000001% in the hip. So they considered it a stage 4. But it was just blood. We didn't have to have, you had to have a bone marrow test. I think that was extremely painful. That was what you went under for.
Well, so the one that was painful, they didn't put me under. Someone forgot to put the numbing cream on my back. So I felt everything. I just remember like laying on that table, like tears rolling down my face because I can't move.
Yeah.
And then the nurse lady was just there, like holding my hand. Like
and we couldn't go in with you.
Mm-mm.
So the first time though, they put you under.
Yep.
And then it's taking forever. And they come out and tell me, we can't get him awake. Like, this isn't good. And we're like, why are you telling us this? I mean, we start like, Lord, we start praying, cause him to wake up. You didn't want to wake up. He did eventually wake up, and you were fine. But they were like, they all came out. I'm not sure what happened in that room because we weren't there. But all those nurses were scared because they all came out and they went, whew, boy, he scared us. And we were like, oh my gosh, because there was people running in and out of the room. So you got through that, but you had to have that periodically because they said we just want to make sure that anything in the bones doesn't, we want to make sure we treat that and it doesn't go to the spine.
I think I ended up having like 4 or 5 of them,
and it was an ordeal every time. But they did back off the anesthesia the next time, or whatever made you go to sleep. I think what was eye opening is you go up to that kids ward and our world's ending, right? You're 18. You were the oldest in that ward by a mile. And there was like 6-month-old babies. There was that little boy that was like 2 or 3 that was dressed like Spider-Man. And I looked at those parents and they looked just so depressed. And that was awful. And I know the nurses, talk about your relationship with all the nurses, male and female, and just because they loved having you there.
Yeah. No, the nurses were like what made it like a lot easier. Because like when none of you guys were able to be there, like they would go in there and sit and talk. And it's just like, I don't know, to be in that job, like,
yeah,
it's got to be really hard. And then, like, I don't know, the hardest part, I think, to me was, like, hearing all those babies cry, like, all the time.
Yeah. You kind of think that that must be what hell's like. I mean, screaming, and the parents can't do anything. We would hear them in the halls or stuff when we were there. I was just like, oh, Lord.
Yeah.
I hate that for those families. So you get to come home for Christmas. We're like, but you weren't really feeling very good.
Yeah.
And we have some pictures. You look like the Emperor in Star Wars. You have like a hood on with even Samuel. And so we'll show some of those pictures. But I can't remember if it was then or when you went back, but you got chickenpox.
Yeah, so we went the day after Christmas. We went right back. And then we didn't get to come home for New Year's, did we?
No, you were there.
Yeah, so I was there from then till like through January.
Oh yeah, it was a
very long stay.
Do you remember when we ran you back in? We didn't know it was chickenpox, I don't think, which is so weird. You'd already had chickenpox, but
because I had like scabs on my head, and that was really only where they were.
Yeah, but they were inside,
Yeah,
like on your stomach. I remember taking you in to the emergency room because you were in so much pain, and you were screaming in that room, and me and Mom were just like, we can't do anything. And they gave you drugs. It didn't help.
mm-hmm.
Your morphine level was through the roof, and then they thought it was irritant from the chemo. And then they finally were like, he has chickenpox. And we're like, what? And they're like, yeah. So whenever you have that, it stays in your body forever. And a lot of times we see that. And it's like, well, that would have been nice to know because we didn't know what it was. So like, even though they diagnosed cancer, put you on chemo, we start feeling like, I asked Mom this and she's like, well, after the first 6 weeks, I felt hopeful. And I'm like, I don't remember feeling that because it looked awful for like at least a good 3 months. It felt like you weren't putting weight on, you couldn't eat. I knew it got better when, you start binge watching TV shows and stuff. It was like, okay, he started to feel a little bit better.
Yeah. Which I remember, like, I think I watched some shows like multiple times during that stay because like I was just like falling asleep in and out. Like, I was just completely out of it. Like, I don't remember, like, anything from that stay.
Yeah. Do you remember, I remember Samuel wanted to come over and play video games with you, like Legos and stuff like that. So he came over.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember stopping by, and Abby was there a lot, but we would trade out. Like sometimes I'd go during the day. Mom would go over. Mom tried to go over, I don't remember how many times a week, but probably 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah, but it's just hard with little ones.
It was so hard
and stuff.
We tried to make sure somebody was there all the time, and you had some friends. I remember Seth.
Yeah, Seth stayed a few nights. That was awesome.
That was really helpful because at the first, like everybody, it was overwhelming. Our church is reaching out, and it was, awesome. What do you guys need? You need some food. We had, they provided a lot of meals for us. Thanksgiving meal, Christmas. That was awesome. And then it's like you feel bad, like as a parent, because you're like, I'm exhausted. Like I'm not sleeping. I need someone to come over here and it's almost like when you have a newborn sometimes, if you have a real fussy newborn. And Seth came over and we would have that a lot, right? Like I was like, can I go home on Sunday? Like maybe at 1:00, your friends would come over and then we would come back that night or Abby would do that. And they don't tell you that when your kid has cancer because it's like we weren't going to leave you. We were not. I felt so bad about leaving you at Hondo that first night. I was like, I'm not leaving him. Oh my gosh, what if he had not made it? So when was it like for you or anything that stands out that maybe you want to talk about, but when was it that you were like, things kind of changed? Because like we talked about Destiny's tournament, she did go and play. You told her not to play. That was during that whole time.
No, I told her to play.
Yeah, you said not to drop out.
Yeah.
She was going to drop out. I had to tell her on the course that, he's got cancer. That was a practice round. And
she won by like 13 shots.
Yeah, she just obliterated the field. And Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool. But that was around that time we all came in and got pictures with you.
Yeah.
But then fast forward, we're in the pediatrics. Things are, at what point were you like, when did you feel like, I'm not going to die, I'm going to fight this?
It was probably after all the chicken pox. Like, I think up until that point, like, I was just like, well, I'm going to die. Like, this is it. And then it was like the moment I started like getting into the word and like, I mean, I saw a clear change. Like,
yeah, the Bible.
Everything. Yeah. Everything was like changing. Like, I think you guys saw that. Like, I was up moving about. I was doing things like every morning I'd wake up, turn some worship music on, spend time with the Lord for multiple hours.
Yeah. And we were praying that, like, God, because there's like, your family can want it all they want.
Yeah.
But unless there all of a sudden comes a change of like, I could do this.
Yeah.
And it was a massive difference, because they would tell you like, you need to get up out of bed, and you're just like, I can't, I'm in so much pain. And yeah, that was awesome, because once that started changing, and definitely then, because I remember you started texting me scriptures like, hey Dad, and I'm like, oh, he's starting to feel better.
Yeah.
And we were like, we're going to beat this. Me and Mom had already, we were not gonna, if you hadn't made it, it wasn't gonna be because, we did not accept it. We refused to accept it. I mean, we knew you had cancer, but we were like, no. And Mom had that scripture, the man born blind. Why was he born blind? The disciples asked, and Jesus said, it wasn't because of sin, it was for my glory. And so we just kept declaring, this is going to be for God's glory.
Yep. And I think another hard thing was like drinking enough water. Like, I remember being so dehydrated. Like, I remember being home, like, I passed out multiple times.
I don't remember that.
Mom would.
Okay. Well, some of the things they didn't tell me, but yeah. And why could you not drink enough water?
I couldn't drink enough. I couldn't eat enough. Like,
yeah. And you were so like, what did you get down to? Do you remember?
So before Hondo, I was 185 going into that. By the time chemo started, I think I was probably like 160 something. I got down to like 118, I think.
That's what I thought.
And like, I remember being so weak, the sliding bathroom door.
You could
not open that.
Well, to be fair, that thing weighed like 500 pounds.
But like,
yeah,
I could not move that door.
Yeah, I remember it was hard because we would hug you and you're just like, oh my gosh, I feel like, you could break you in half.
Yeah.
And, but that, during that, maybe even early on, you bought tickets to a Forrest Frank concert in like May.
Yeah.
Right. And we were like, we were behind closed doors, we're crying because it's like, oh, he thinks he's going to go to that,
See, I think at that, like, because I'm not sure when we bought the tickets.
It was probably around Christmas, to be honest with you. You bought them very early on, or maybe after chickenpox or something, maybe when it did.
Yeah, I don't know. But I remember, like, you guys were like, well, I don't know if you're going to go. And I was like, no, I'm going.
Yeah. And you did.
Yep. And it was awesome.
Yeah. And that was probably the first big thing because we had to ask the doctor and they said it was okay.
Yep.
We were like, oh my gosh, really? You didn't have the all clear, I don't think, at that point.
Nope.
But
because that concert was in May.
It was in May.
Yeah.
But it was close. But it was like, you had to stay in a hotel, things like that. We were not thrilled about. We were thrilled that you felt like going, and we wanted you to be able to do that. But you're still like
pale, skinny, bald. Like,
your immune system was so compromised. It's like if someone had a runny nose, they couldn't be around you.
Yeah.
And so that's mostly what we were concerned with.
Yeah.
So you go to the concert, everything's feeling good. You get the talk about the things that they do, like where they would do the heat scan. It's like they have you swallow the nuclear bomb and then they do the heat map.
PET scan.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
that's what tells you where you're at, because they do the blood tests, but you really want to see the heat map.
Yeah.
Where's everything at?
The first one I don't really remember because like they were like, yeah, you can fall asleep because it took multiple hours, I think.
Yeah.
But the last one that gave us the all clear, they're like, you have to stay awake for this. And I think that one only lasted like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was good. But we didn't get the results for like another 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. And then mom's in your little electronic chart, trying to, oh my gosh, it says this. And it's like, you're not a doctor.
And then like, I think when they gave us the all clear, like, I know everybody was happy. Like, to me, I already had it. Like, to me, it was like 2 months ago. I was clear. I was feeling healthy and everything. So like, it was a relief to hear it. But like, to me, it was like, I already knew that.
Yeah. And, got through that. And then we have video. I don't know if we'll play the video or not. We'll have to see. But it's of you leaving your last treatment and them celebrating. We do have some cool videos. I am going to try to share some of those in here. I don't know if I can do it with the software, but just use your imagination. And it's everybody celebrating and you're leaving. You're still bald, but you feel great.
Yep.
I think you started coming back to work a little bit at that time. You really wanted to, and I did not let you work forever.
I think that's one of the hardest things. Like, I didn't get to do anything for like 8 months.
Yep.
Of just like, and like me, like I have to be doing something at all times.
Yeah.
So like that was
hard. We did not want you. Well, you feel like even though you're 18, we feel like, this is like our 6-week-old baby. Like, we don't want him to go back to work and catch some cold because somebody, I don't know how many times I've had lessons before and somebody's like texting me and like, hey, they had the flu last night, but we were still no, you're going to cancel. Or he's got strep. Do you mind? Yeah, I do mind. Stay home.
Yeah.
He's got COVID. Go ahead. No, just
fake.
Just kidding. But so you come back, you start, you're like, I'm going to swing golf clubs. We're like, whoa. I mean, you were like,
I was ready to get back into everything.
You start hitting again. We rang the bell. That was amazing. So they have a, bell ceremony there at the hospital after you've been so many months cancer-free and you're clear. That was amazing. Everybody came out to celebrate. It felt great. You start hitting again, and then your hip starts hurting, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, no, Lord, you don't heal incompletely. And we make you talk to the doctor. You don't want to. And she's like, I think they x-rayed it, right? Or MRI?
They just said the bone was like
so weak.
Glass.
Yeah. And they're like, you got to stop.
Like if I jumped, it could have shattered.
Yeah. She was like, you could break your hip because it was all concentrated there.
Yeah. Because that's the one where they were doing shots and stuff.
Yes. And so it wasn't, that's right. So it didn't have anything to do with the cancer. It had everything to do with where the injections were.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's all healed up nicely.
Yeah.
You're back to playing golf.
Yeah.
Your hair grew back. It's a little more curly than it was. I think it's darker too, right?
Oh, it is darker. Yeah.
Since then, you work out all the time now.
Mm-hmm.
You've put all your weight back on,
and more.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you weigh now?
I'm about 182.
Okay. So 6 foot, 182. We're all back. You're playing golf all the time.
Yep.
You did something in. I'm not sure what month it was, but it involves like
the marathon. Yeah, I did run a marathon that was on December 7th.
December 7th run, and that's 26.2 miles.
Yeah,
which is incredible. And they gave us an opportunity to like record some messages, for each mile. I thought I did one at the end, but I didn't think you would finish. I didn't think Abby would finish. We forgot to talk about that during her podcast.
I don't think anybody thought I was going to finish. I knew I was because I was like,
we were kind of concerned because I feel like if I tried to run a 26.2, like I'm probably going to die. So I'm not even going to attempt it.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest challenge with a marathon is it's like, yeah, you got to be in good shape. It's so hard on you mentally.
Yeah.
Oh man, one of the best things was getting to run with Michaela and her dad.
Yeah.
That was great. We ran the first 17 miles or something together.
Yeah.
And that was great. And then like the hardest is like you get to mile 20 and you're like, man, I've been running so long and I still have like 7 miles to go. And then I got mom's message on like, I think it was like mile 23. And that just like tears running because like you're already so emotional.
Yeah.
And then it was mom. And so like, yeah, that was hard. I remember getting like the worst quad cramps of your life. Like, and that was really the only thing that cramped up at that point. Like my quads just, they stayed cramped from about mile 20 to the end.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, my calves started cramping. But then like you pass that finish line and you're like, oh my God.
Was there ever a point that you thought, I'm not going to do this? Or were you just dead set? You were like, I will complete this. Yeah. That's awesome. And we told you we were proud of you. It's crazy in that. And I forgot to talk about it in Abby's podcast, but Abby was pregnant and ran a marathon. And Robert ran one too. We're not really proud of him, but
yes, we are, Robert.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. Good job, Robert. No, it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So yeah, here at Short Game, and Robert's helped out here at Short Game, so he's part of the Short Game family. We had 4 people.
Yeah.
That ran a marathon and completed it. I'm
pretty
like,
freaking awesome.
Love surrounding ourselves with high performers. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. What do you think going through the cancer prepped you for the marathon?
I do. Like, because going through the cancer, like it built me mentally tough. Like, because if you're not, like, you're not going to survive. Like, you have to be mentally tough. Yeah. And I think, like, honestly, the marathon was probably more mentally challenging.
Yeah.
Because it was like, well, I could just stop anytime I want.
Yeah.
But like, no.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Will you run more marathons?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you got? Well, let's say this. What advice would you give to somebody that finds out that they got cancer? What would you say to them?
Well, I would say like find God.
Yeah.
Like that was the biggest changer because like I've always been a Christian, but it was like that point of like when you like actually start chasing him is like your whole world changes. Like it's so different.
Yeah.
Like, because even though like I still had the cancer, but I was at peace with it. Like,
yeah.
To me, it was like as soon as I found that, I was like, oh, like I've beat this. Like we're done.
Yeah.
And then also just like surround yourself with friends and family. Like,
yeah,
they will help you get through that. It'll make it so much easier.
Yeah. And I think that too is like, it's not the kiss of death.
No.
But there is definitely a cloud of just oppression with that. And I think breaking through that hopelessness is, I think that's huge.
Yeah. And I would also say like your diet.
Yeah.
Change your diet. Like I haven't drank soda in like so long. Energy drinks are fine.
Okay.
Yeah. But like, no, like.
Yeah, I know. We talked about it on Mom's episode. Mom is, she's like the processed food Nazi.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know if I can say that word on YouTube. That might get banned. But they, I'm brushing like with a wood toothbrush, a bamboo toothbrush. And it's like, and it's like all natural deodorant and like, as long as I'm not, wearing plant-based underwear or something. We still eat meat, lots of meat. Meat's good. Things that God created are good. What is, what do you got next? What are you doing? What are you up to now?
Now I'm just like working a lot. Like I love working a Short Game. They can't get me away from here. And then just golfing like a lot.
Yeah. What do you do? What do you do at Short Game? And like, what is it that you love about it so much?
Yeah. So I'm the manager at Short Game, like run like a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here like every day. And then like what I love about it is like first and foremost, like the team, like the girls and Slade, like we're basically a family. I love them.
Yeah.
And then also the customers, like I love getting to connect and get to know these people. Like it's really cool.
Yeah. What's it like working in a family business? You got siblings, dad's the boss. Like what's all that like?
It's really amazing. And I think it's also like we'll fight, like, cause like we are actual family. So it's like, we'll get irritated with each other more easily than with somebody else. But at the same time, it's like we have each other's back and we know like, we have the best, what we think what is the best for short game and each other first before anything else.
Yeah.
So I think if you just go at it with that, like, it's going to be great.
Yeah. I think, knowing, and I think even, not just the cancer, but everything as a family, we always do everything as a family, as a team, and we tack everything that way, and we do have everybody's back.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge. That's huge.
Yep.
We don't all think the same. We don't all see things the same, but we attack things as a team.
Yeah.
And when we don't see eye to eye, it's like nothing that a good old yelling communication sort out.
Sometimes it's what you have to do. Like sometimes somebody's not going to hear it unless
we're not afraid of conflict.
No.
And I think that's probably, I've never really asked him, but like it's probably a little bit intimidating for Robert coming in the family. And it's like we kind of just like, I mean, we play Risk or board games, and it's like whoever shouts loudest gets to set the rules
or flips the board first.
Anything you want to share or talk about? I hope this is very helpful to people.
Yeah.
And I told you this back then, but I know that God's going to use this in your life. I think you have a way with people, and I do think it's going to make an impact. And I think that there's going to be opportunities to speak to schools and even churches and stuff like that eventually. So if you're interested in booking Jehu for a speaking gig, you can DM me and I'll make it happen.
Yep.
But anything else you want to share or that you want people to know?
Just like if you are going through that stuff, like just keep fighting. It does get better. Like it may not seem like it is right now, but it does. I promise.
Yeah, and we're going to show hopefully throughout this episode, but at the very least, I'll drop it here in the end. I'm not sure how that software works, but we're going to kind of go through some of the timeline of pictures, like even maybe right before and then throughout the journey, and then
it's old. It never gets old. Hey, we talked about storms this morning, and Jehu is here. Jehu has been a part of our church for years, and last fall, Jehu discovered that he had cancer, and he hasn't been in church for maybe 6 months, because he's been fighting this battle with cancer. But today is his first day back. It's great to see you, man. It's great to see you.
Hello, you're still there. Great. Hit like, subscribe, make sure the bell's on. You won't miss another one of these fantastic episodes.